A year ago, you could not have paid me to use a chainsaw. This is what I was able to get done in a day. Can't believe I'm taking this down. This is absolutely massive. This is Simple Living with Biata. Join me as I take 18 acres of raw land and turn it into my dream home and homestead. This week, I'm whipping out the chainsaw once again and clearing space for our future wood boiler to heat our home. Thanks so much for following along this journey. Let's get started. I'm off to the property, but first I have to go get some gas for the chainsaw. I'm gonna be cutting a lot this week. Oh my gosh, my thumb got caught in the gas thing and the gas would not stop pouring out. And there's gas all over the ground, I feel bad. I have to go get new chaps. I have some cuts in mine and it's definitely getting dangerous now. And then I'm off. That was the highlight of my morning. They're so cute. Okay, I've been on the phone for a while trying to figure out setbacks for our wood boiler. We don't have any like bylaws, it looks like, from our town, but the minimums are normally 30 to 50 feet for combustibles, or at least away from the house. Time to measure and see what trees I have to cut down. Over in this section behind the parking lot is well over 50 feet away. The transformer for hydro is going here, so I need the wood boiler to be far enough away from that. So I'm thinking over in this area, which means taking down this tree. So clean, it's insane. Okay, this clip is actually missing. Found it. Okay, cedar's in the way of the transformer. I have to take this beautiful tree down. I really want it to go towards the driveway because it would be easier to clean up, but it's leaning back towards the trail. Hopefully it doesn't get hung up on the other trees. Fingers crossed. Got it hung up. It'll be easy to get down though. It's not hung up too high. By no means take advice from me. Research the heck out of cutting trees. But the way I get a tree that is hung up down without machines is to undercut it going up the tree one section at a time. When I undercut it, I take it slow so that when the chain and bar is coming up near the top of the tree, I kind of let off and the tree kind of concaves and collapses in on itself. Cedars are one of my least favorite trees to cut where it's going to go into a bush because they get hung up so easily. The trees are so light, so when it falls, sometimes it just doesn't have enough weight to bring it to the ground. I think I just need one more cut and then I might be able to push it over the other way. So this cedar tree is being such a pain. It's actually fully like hanging off of this maple. So I'm gonna try cutting the maple down. It needs to come down anyways. My only concern is that there's gonna be a fair amount of weight on the maple tree and I don't want it to kick back and barber chair. So this, on a smaller scale, is barber chair. And that's what I was concerned about. I did cut it way higher than one would normally cut a tree. It just felt like the best place to cut the tree because it was already kind of bending there, so. My phone is gonna die. So here's the before and here's the after. I'm gonna just try to take down as many small trees get them out of the way, and then in the next few days I'll take down the big ones. Okay, I'm back. I have my chain sharpened and I'm gonna get to working on this section here for our wood boiler. Whenever I'm clearing a new section, I always start with the little stuff first. That way when we get to the big stuff, there's room around the tree to maneuver, and if anything were to go wrong, you can get to your safety zones. Trying to be super mindful of starting a pile of like kindling and dry sticks and dry logs, so that when we go to have campfires in the winter or make maple syrup in the late winter, early spring, we have dry wood, because I had such a hard time this past spring making maple syrup because I didn't have dry wood. I'm about halfway done clearing this whole section, and that's pretty exciting. So hopefully I can get that done tomorrow, if not the week after. So anyways, I will see you tomorrow. Today's the day I'm taking this tree down. So I just am going to switch my chain on my chainsaw to a new one, which I'm really excited about, and then I'm gonna start cutting the wedge. As long as the tree's healthy, I will continue cutting the tree. If the wedge looks good, my friend is actually gonna come over and spot me while I cut it. Hopefully that works. All right, let's go. My biggest concern about this tree is this split that goes pretty high up the tree. The reason why a split like that is a concern is because it likely means the tree isn't healthy, and is also a recipe for disaster when it comes to barber chair. You either want the wedge to go right to where that crack is, or to cut the wedge in the middle of where the crack is to minimize barber chair. So this is what's called the apex, and the issue with this is that it's not meeting properly. This needs to come all the way down to here, or else the tree is more likely to barber chair if you leave it like this. It's definitely an issue when you have a bar that's shorter than the tree, because it's harder to make your wedge, but a lot of people cut larger trees with smaller saws. This is the part that is rotten here, which is exactly where that split is. The rest of the tree looks good, like in here where the apex is. We're moving this stuff, and when Ben gets here, he'll hopefully help me. Well, this was a surprise. Hi. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't know about this. Okay. Wow, that was so cool. Ben just got here, so we're gonna get back to work. Okay, we got this stuff out of the way. I'm gonna do like a guideline around the back of the tree to make sure I'm cutting it where I'm supposed to be cutting it, and then I'm gonna drop the tree. I'm excited, biggest one yet.
Here we go, YouTube. Wow!
This is Ben. He just spotted me to make my mom feel better.
Trying to make sure she's safe.
Yeah. 38 inches. So I was chatting with Ben before he left and I got bit by something. I don't know if you can see it, but this side, wow, got bit by like a horsefly. Like I react so much. But anyways, I'm gonna start cutting this tree into sections so that when we have the excavator rented in 2 weeks, it's easy for us to just like move the logs to the side, because that week we are working on our hydro line. Oh, it was harder than I thought. Why am I doing this? And that's what solo vlogging looks like. Jumping back and forth to get your camera. That was the only piece I should have to undercut. It sucks that it broke, but it is what it is. For the next chunks that I cut of the logs, I'm actually going to be using a technique that I kind of just figured out on my own. I don't know if it's actually a technique, but I put the wedges in between where I'm cutting so that if any of the logs drop, it doesn't pinch my chainsaw. I have all of these cut into 8 or 10 foot sections. Now I'm gonna work on getting this taken apart. Happen like once per heavy tree where I get my chainsaw stuck, and it just happened. The only way that's worked for me to get a chainsaw unstuck is to either have heavy machinery and lift the log, or to have another bar on hand and you can switch out the bar and the chain, or to have another chainsaw on hand. So I'm gonna go get my other chainsaw. Well, I just realized that my other chainsaw has a debarker on it. I'm gonna take that off, put my 16-inch chain on it, and I should be good. I actually have to take the debarker all the way off the bar though, which kind of sucks. There we go. Got it off. This is so much more light. So what do you do when you get both chainsaws stuck? Anyone? Oh, there we go, like butter. Okay, now to get the other one unstuck. And there we go. Time to keep limbing these, and hopefully I can get it done before the end of the day. I have the tree limbed, the brush is just everywhere, the logs are everywhere. I'll see you next week where I'm going to continue clearing this section and also work on the hydro trail, because the week after we have the excavator and we are putting in hydro. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you next Sunday.